Spooky. Woo! Welcome to Horror at the Store, guys. I am your host, Katie Hattenbach. There we go. Oh, did you just remix it
I
for
remixed
me?
it. I didn't say anything. I just was dancing. I'm sorry. I didn't say.
It's okay. It's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. I forgive you. It's fine. It's fine. Hilarious, guys. We have a wonderful, beautiful human here today who is portraying a trope of goth.
Yes,
everyone's a horror trope here. And her name is Miss Jessie Harris. I didn't start.
Oh my god.
That's a first, like ever. That's a first ever.
Does that mean you love me less because I remixed you?
Yes. There's a joke that I say that if I don't stutter on your name, it's I don't care about you. But when I stutter on your name, I do care about you. Because all of my family members, I stutter on their names. But then we love being 80% fluent and then just a couple things that trip you up. And your name happens to be one of them, but not today. Not today.
Bitch.
Damn straight. You guys, today we watched there we go. It's another J name. Jason X. Good God. This was a doozy, but let's get into the log line, not one-liner, log line, where we just, off the title alone, not knowing anything about the movie. It's goofy, it's weird. Let's see what we got. You want to go first?
Yeah, I just, so I knew nothing about this movie because I haven't seen any of the Jason movies besides Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh my God.
I know. I'm a Freddy person.
That's fair, understandable. He's awesome.
Yeah. But, so I put Jason and Mary make a porno.
Oh, I love that. I wrote, it's Jason's 10th birthday, and shit's about to hit the fan when he discovers his family's gone missing. Ooh, right? Someone should make that movie. It's us. Let's do it.
Poor little baby Jason, pre-hockey.
Poor. I mean, if you know the story, so he drowned in a lake.
The Crystal Lake, right?
Crystal Lake, specifically.
His mama has something to do with it, and she's a killer.
Yep. And the first movie, spoiler alert, that's also a question in Scream. Who is the killer in the original?
That's why
Friday
I know
the 13th?
it. That's why I know the answer.
Jason. Oh, it wasn't Jason. It was Mrs. Voorhees.
Yeah.
That's
No,
that's the wrong answer.
Oh, Drew.
Good times. This is a doozy. So this movie starts off in 2010, the good old 2010.
Wait, it's 2010 in the movie?
That's what it said.
I thought it was 2000. Oh, I thought it was 2000 because obviously it's like a capsule of the 2000s.
Oh yes. Oh no, it takes place in 2010.
Yeah.
It definitely was made in 2000s. 100%.
Oh yeah.
And it starts in 20. So the movie.
It's a time capsule.
Oh yes, the movie starts in 2010, and Jason's all chained up in this dungeon lab.
Wait, firstly, I just want to talk about the intro credits.
Yes,
they are like a Bond movie.
Oh yeah,
the way it goes, it's you see all these weird electric pulses and all this red and orange, and then it finally comes out, and you realize you're coming out of an eye. And you were inside the nervous system for the credits. And then it comes out of the eye and you see the reflection of a surgeon in the eye. And then it goes back into the circulatory system. Who puts that much effort into opening credits anymore?
Honestly, yeah, literally. I had this thought too with movies, the older the movie we watch, I feel like the longer the opening credit scene is and the more obscure it is. I feel like Adult Swim would do this, kind of like how they did Too Many Cooks, but
which just keeps going.
Which if you don't know what it is, you need to. I'm not even going to spoil.
I have a lot of friends that were in that.
That's amazing. We'll talk about that. That's fantastic. That's my favorite. But I feel like they do something about where it's just the opening credits. Mm-hmm. Kind of also Family Guy did it, where it's just the production company, but bumpers, but instead it's opening credits, and it's all these there's B-roll of you don't know what's happening, and then it's just 10 minutes of that, and that's the whole film is just opening credits.
Yeah,
it's just you're really gonna know who the key grip is, who the fifth grip is.
Jason X, it was giving costume designer in the opening.
You're
credits.
Gonna know every PA's name, and you're damn. PA is really getting it.
You're going to be like, oh, they did crafty on this.
You're like, oh, damn. Like, that's
right at the
beginning.
beginning.
Good for them.
No, but like, I honestly was like, I'm about to watch an amazing film.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're like, this is brilliant.
I knew it. Yeah.
And so it opens on Jason chained up in this dungeon lab of sorts. And there's a bunch of scientists there. And of course, he escapes because that's just...
Yeah, there's like a guard watching him. And the guard is like, you're ugly, you dumb bitch. And like puts a sack on his head. And then it cuts to these other guards and they're like, let's go see the subject. And they come to see Jason. And there's the body it's like on these chains hanging with the sack on the head. And I called it. They rip it off and it's the guard. And Jason is loose. How did that happen?
Oh
and then
God.
he kills
Never
all
call
the guards.
someone ugly. This is why you can't call people ugly.
Right? If he had just been nice.
Honestly, that would have changed everything. And this woman, the scientist, who we don't know is like the main character. She ends up
Olivia Munn.
It's not actually. It looks like it's like a knockoff Olivia Munn.
Olivia Nunn.
Olivia Nunn. I like that. Olivia Nunn. She tries to like cryogenically freeze him because that's the only way to contain him. They're like, oh, we've tried killing him. Nothing works.
The 2000s were all about the cryo freeze.
We've hung him. Let's cryo freeze him. Put him in there.
Yeah, and then they're like, no, we want to transport him to another facility to study him. And she's like, if you transport him, he's going to get free and everyone's going to die. And they're like, you're a dumb, sexy bitch. You don't know anything about Jason.
You're like, Olivia Nunn, shut your whore mouth.
Shut your hole.
Shut it down immediately.
You know nothing.
You're a dumb, stupid woman.
Now, is she in any of the previous Jasons?
I don't know.
Because she seemed to be very knowledgeable.
I've seen Friday the 13th, the first movie, and then the second one, and then I've been told to,
So you haven't seen Jason Takes Manhattan?
I have.
Oh.
I have.
And a Jason Christmas Carol.
I have not seen that. Is that a thing?
It will be.
Starting today. Guys, surprise.
I have to plug something right now, actually.
We are actually writing and directing and starring as every single character in Jason.
Yeah, and when we play Jason, we just stack up on each other's shoulders.
Yes, it's like that thing where it's like, what is it? Two
kids in a trench coat?
Kids in a trench coat.
Yeah,
there we go.
But with the hockey mask.
Exactly, and a large machete. So this woman tries to freeze him, and of course he like stabs the cryo thing.
Oh, yeah, she gets him in the cryo chamber and he stabs through. Like, how much?
You're like, you know
metal?
what? It doesn't matter. His machete can get, it's a machete.
Yeah, it's a machete.
Can get through anything and stabs her. And so she's down and now the cryo freeze. Now she's
it's
freezing.
leaking through the machete hole.
Her and
Jason
are
the
frozen.
whole room gets cryo froze.
They are freezing. And so now, fast forward 400 years. Oh my God.
Yeah, and
I think
these
the year's like 2000, no,
I wrote it down. 2455. So 2455.
2455.
So
and a group of
445 years in the future.
A group of students and their professors are going on a little class excursion to explore the lab and decide to open the cryo chamber and discover Jason and the woman. So they bring them back to their like spaceship thing.
Yeah.
And they...
By the way, if you told me this was going to end up with Jason in space, I would not have believed you.
I knew one of them was in space. I just didn't remember which one. And this was it. Yes,
it was.
It was very much it. And so... one of the guys is like, somebody tell me why he's wearing a hockey mask. That sport was banned in 2024.
We've got 2 years left.
We got 2 years, guys. Guys, we have 2 years left
until hockey is banned
forever.
I know.
And then a girl goes, what's hockey? And I'm like, how do they know what it is 400 years ago? That's the fact that they're like, oh, we know what all this stuff is. I'm like, okay. And then they're like,
I'm trying to think of a sport that doesn't exist anymore that we would know about. Like that Mayan basketball? Does that count?
Mayan basketball? I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I can't think of a sport that would be banned.
Oh, the one where in ancient Roman times when people would fight lions to the death.
Did we ban that?
I hope so. Here we did, at least in America, but who knows about?
I can find it.
I hope not. I hope it doesn't exist. Or maybe I don't know if I want to see that.
We're in LA. We can find anything.
That'll be fun. Honestly, should we start it back up?
Well, yeah. So like hockey is banned. It's the scariest part so far.
Oh yeah, hockey being banned is the real horror in the movie. And the scientists wait. Okay. Oh, go back.
Jason immediately like kind of falls forward and slices off someone's arm.
Yeah, he slices off this kid's arm and he's like, "Oh, my arm." And then we find out that this woman, one of the scientists,
Jessica Chastain.
Yes, knockoff, is a robot.
Yeah.
And like injects him with some stuff and like puts like a patch over him and he's like, "You're pretty."
Yes,
he gets drugged out.
They created a stoner character
already, which is amazing.
Without weed.
Yes, and you're like, I love that.
They were like, we have to have it.
It's amazing.
And so they were like, get him high on some space drugs and bring him back.
And put a patch on it and just
a patch on him.
Just give it a little pat. He'll be good to go.
I love that Jessica Chastain is a robot and she's still like they gave her that hair.
Oh yeah.
That haircut. It's a horrible coconut head
terrible.
bob. I took pictures of it. I was just like
it's wonderful.
Like a
it's
fan.
disgusting.
I was just
it's amazing. I'm like, this is iconic.
And then she has these nice sideburns that just go right down the cheeks.
They're really pointy.
Right point towards the
Sometimes
mouth.
my hair will do that normally, and I'll be like, "You walked around like that, and no one said anything." And I am like, I have terrible friends because why wouldn't they tell me that I looked?
Nobody
like that?
told her either. So.
I know. Well, she has terrible friends too. All these scientist people and. So he gets but they reattach his arm because they have this technology where they can like reanimate things.
Yeah.
And so that's what they're planning on doing with the Olivia Dunn knockoff.
And Jason.
Olivia Munn. Olivia Munn, but she's not Olivia Munn. It's Olivia Dunn.
I really don't remember any of their names.
I don't either.
There were a lot of characters in this. The only name I remember is Gecko.
Who was Gecko?
She's one of the soldiers that dies. And he goes, "No, Gecko!" And it was like the first time we'd heard her name.
Damn, I started writing names towards the end because I was like, I think
Oh, no. There were I couldn't keep up.
And so they start reanimating her and...
Oh, yeah. So, like, Olivia's on the table.
Yeah.
And we see the scientist people and we see the first black guy.
Yeah, we're like, woo! And finally, some diversity.
We got the token.
We got him.
And immediately they're like, we need to cut her clothes off of her. And he's like, I'll do it. And, like, runs over.
He's like, I'm a man. I'm boobs.
Yeah, he's like, ooh. There was so many early 2000s jokes of, like, a girl... calling a guy a pussy kind of thing, or like the guy's making some kind of sexual jokes. It was almost comforting in a nostalgic kind of way.
Yeah, it's like it wouldn't fly now, but it's like
it's very 2000s.
You know that it's from that era, and you're like, I know I shouldn't like it, but it feels like
a teen comedy.
It's hilarious because it's like, oh, we can't do that anymore. But look what they did. It's funny.
Before we get more into the plot, the costumes that they had them wear in space, these women...
Just literally...
It was 2000. It was 2000. She had a knit sweater where it was like a knit crop long sleeve off the shoulder with a knit halter underneath.
Yes.
And she was the brains of the ship.
Like,
and that's what they had her in. It was amazing. And then they had the slut, I guess.
Yeah.
Would be her type, where she had it open down the middle with the little bars.
And, the slut. Let's go back into the plot. So the slut. Her and so the
professor, right?
Professor, no, that too.
No, it was the other girl.
The genius girl with the knit. She was looking over Jason on the reanimated.
And the slut and her boyfriend were like getting horny on top of him.
And she's like, just go do your thing and come back when you're ready.
Yeah, they were like making out on Jason's body.
So they go to fuck.
I just don't understand. Like, I mean, like, this goes back to the I've never been that horny kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they literally are leaning on a frozen body
and they're
just
like,
getting hot.
All I see is you.
And heated.
I just want you. And that's it. That's it.
You know, it's kind of beautiful.
It's beautiful. It was tender.
There's a lot of true love in horror movies.
It was nice.
Nothing will come between us
It was
except
nice.
a knife.
Exactly. Whoa, that's deep. That cuts deep. I'm sorry. No more puns. I'm banned from the pun.
There's definitely some puns coming up. I wrote them down.
They were puns.
I'm excited. Can we talk about how the stoner character?
Yeah.
It finally shows him from behind, and he has dreads.
That was amazing.
The white dude has like this, like it's like he has normal stoner hair, and then in the back there's like this long dread ponytail all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
What a choice!
It was brilliant. Okay, so it's there's so many fucking characters that it's so hard to get into this. This girl who's like kind of like the bitch, if you will. She's like, oh, to the lead scientist who's the teacher, she's like, oh, come to my chamber pod, and all of a sudden they're like doing like a BDSM shame kink.
Oh yeah. So
I was like, wait,
she's
what's
like
going on?
Clamping his nipples, and he's calling her daddy.
And I was like, what is this? What is going on? Because so much just happened. We're not even like there's so much went down, and I'm so confused.
There's a lot of
everything.
like, wow, we made this huge scientific discovery.
They really
and we're
were
gonna
like,
reanimate these bodies. Let's fuck.
Let's fuck. This makes me so horny. And you know who's alive
They're
now?
very horny for science.
You know who's alive? Jason and Olivia Dunn. Olivia Dunn is like, hey, first of all, I need some clothes. So the bitch gives her some clothes.
She wakes up and she's got her boobs pushed up like this, and she's like, "Oh, where am I?
Where am I?"
Jason dead.
And she's like, make sure Jason's dead. And of course, he's not.
And of course, they're like, it's all good, you dumb ass.
You dumbass. And we're going to exploit you for money.
Scientists.
We're going to exploit you for money because...
Yeah.
So,
So we the teacher is like talking back home and is like, oh, we uncovered these 2 bodies from 400 years ago, and we're going to reanimate them. And the guy back home is like, that's not that special. We reanimate people all the time. And he's like, well, one of them is Jason Voorhees. And they're like, oh my God, the serial killer. People will pay money to see that. So he wants to bring Jason back alive or just unharmed? He's convinced he's dead and they can't reanimate him.
Yeah. But he's alive.
He reanimates himself.
He reanimates himself.
They really get into the science of Jason on this.
Yeah.
And it's for the cerebral Jason fans.
Yes. And so he's alive now, but the scientist girl with the knit, I don't even remember her name. She doesn't even need a name.
Yeah.
She dies. She gets her head. The smart one gets her head cryogenically
smashed. It was really amazing. He shoves her in like the cryo water and her face cryo freezes, and then he just smashes her against a desk and it just bursts and crumbles.
I was like, damn.
It was sick.
I was like, that was dope. I give that kill a 5. I give it 5 stars.
Oh, I was going to say, that's like a 9 out of 10 kill.
It's a 5-star kill.
Yeah. That was a 5-star kill.
It was beautiful. I loved it. And so now Jason's like on the prowl, and he picks up something that resembles a machete.
Wait. So what woke Jason up, firstly, he's like dead ass asleep. And then the slut people this couple are hooking up, right? And it keeps flashing
in a different room. They're hooking up
in a different room.
Yeah, like one of their
They went back to their room, their pod. And so like it's cutting between like Jason asleep and them making out. And then the boyfriend starts to go down on her. And like the second he hits the right spot, the sweet spot, and she moans, Jason bursts awake
because he hates.
He is the horny
sex.
police.
No, he hates premarital sex.
He's the ultimate horny
He's
police.
Like, anybody fucks, they gonna die.
The clitoris is the devil's doorbell.
You gotta be a virgin to survive, or Jason's gonna get you.
I was just like, he was dead asleep for 400 years. Heard one female moan, shot right up.
He's like, fuck
and that's whenever he
shit.
killed the smart one.
Yeah, and then so now he's wandering.
Yeah.
And
at the same time they're trying to put nipples on the robot. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
the
there's
magnetic
so many
nipples.
characters. There's so many characters. It's so confusing. The robot, sideburn lady, one of the scientists is like, yeah, he's obsessed with her, and
he's in love with her.
and is like, you need some nipples.
Well, no, she wanted nipples. She was like, I want to be like a human. Human women have nipples.
He's like, you're beautiful just the way you are, baby.
He's like, I built you without nipples. That gross me out.
For a reason. Yeah. I have a nippleless kink.
Yes.
I don't know. It could be a thing.
Anti-nipple.
Anti-nipple. Yeah. What? Yeah.
Yeah. So the nipples won't stick on her body and they fall off.
Yeah, and that's just like a little like it's just they throw so much context and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And okay, so and
but Jason he doesn't have a machete for most of this film. He has like a bone saw.
Correct. And he finds the couple having sex and just obliterates them.
Yeah. Well, he obliterates the guy and like drags him off.
Mm-hmm. And then the girl runs away.
Yeah.
But she, of course, dies pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because she has to.
She had sex.
So. Oh, yeah. She's got to die.
Timer started.
And so we cut back to Olivia Munn knockoff. Find out they're on Earth 2 and Earth 1 is dead. There's so much happening in this movie. It's like, I don't even know where to go.
Yeah.
It's, so Jason literally, I'm just going to sum it. He's literally knocking everybody off one by one. And they have tons of crew. There's a whole, like, I don't want to say army, but kind of like
they
army.
have like the soldiers.
The soldiers who are like protecting the northern
students.
Space. And the soldiers.
And then like by this point, obviously the spaceship is flying through space towards like this space station, Earth 2 or whatever.
It do be zooming. And just killing them off one by one, killing off the
Well, he gets to the other students, the stoner.
Yes.
And they're playing this simulation game, this VR game.
Yes.
And they're like killing monsters. And then they see Jason come up and Jason slices through the VR monster and kills it with his bone saw. And they're like, whoa, let's kill this monster in the hockey mask.
And then it's like slashes them.
Yeah, it kills them and they keep talking.
And then it cut, He
cuts them like across from like the shoulder diagonally down and he like hangs in half and is like, this kill doesn't count.
And then so they reanimate and it goes to reality and Jason's like, what's going on? And then actually kills them.
Yes. But I don't understand why they didn't recognize him.
Well, because
when he walked into the
they're like,
VR.
this isn't the monster. What the fuck?
It's like, you just saw this dude. He sliced off your arm this morning.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he was drugged up though. He probably didn't remember. He was like, so he probably was like, I don't remember what.
That's some good drugs,
right? That's some good drugs.
So he wait, no. So he kills the stoner not by slicing him. He literally picks him up like you would a child and bounces him once and his back breaks and then he just tosses him. And I'm like, I have bounced my nephews harder than that.
You could probably do that with me. My spine is very fragile.
You just like one little.
It's just I am a small person.
Cracked.
You could easily do that.
He broke like dried spaghetti noodles.
Yeah, that's me. That's literally what that would be like killing me. It would be pretty easy. So and the Jason he finds the students where they're hiding and they like run away screaming and the professor sends out the troops and is like, go find Jason. So
yeah, they're like, we got this. I do love that like the teacher went to the head of the soldiers and was like, oh, Jason is worth a lot of money. I'll give you a cut if you bring him back alive. And the guy's like, what? No, he's going to kill us all. And he keeps raising the amount of money. He's like, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000. And then the guy's like, ooh, 500. And you're like, oh no, he's going to take the deal. And then he immediately walks into his soldiers and it's like, the teacher wants us to bring him back alive. So let's burn this motherfucker down.
But literally, Jason's just knocking them off one by one. None of them come out alive.
Yeah, and they all have like these crazy names like Gecko and Condor. And there's like this brilliant line. I think I did write this movie in a past life.
I bet you did.
I think I did.
Yeah.
Even though I was already alive when this happened.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I ghost wrote this movie because there's like this giant, almost like equipment, like mining screw, like corkscrew thing that Jason literally brings down on the troop's head.
Yeah.
And it like goes into his body. And they're like, over the comms, they're like, oh, we found Condor. And he goes, how is he? And they go, he's screwed.
You're like,
I was like, Yeah, of course. Like, what else are you gonna say
You're like, this is
that moment? Like, it was.
The writers were like, this is brilliant. Hear me out, guys. What if we put
I'm telling you, I wrote this
here?
movie. I would have said the exact. I don't think I would have changed a word of it. Honestly,
It's honestly brilliant. So finds out where the students are hiding. All the army patrol they're all dead. He kills the professor because the professor's like, I'm gonna give you money.
Yeah, no.
That's where it was.
The professor meets Jason and is like, "Do you know how valuable you are?
I'll make you
and then,
famous."
Like, do you think if people asked Jason that more, he would be a little less murderous?
Do you think if
they were like,
you are you're a valuable
you're
priceless.
person.
You're like, you're priceless.
Do you know your worth?
I'll be like, holy shit.
But like, yeah. So
then
he gives Jason his machete.
Yeah. He's like, here,
and
you want
Jason
this? I'll give
takes
it to you.
it.
He's like, just remember who gave it to you.
Yeah.
Me.
Jason takes it, and then he's like, guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back.
And then just dead immediately.
And like, throughout this movie, it's very confusing to see who cares about who dying, because the students are like locked up in this room listening to the people being murdered over the comms. And like, it'll cut to like a student's face while someone is like brutally being murdered, and you hear
it'll
it,
just be fun.
and they're just like,
just an average day. They're like, oh, this is normal. This is
like, they just don't really care until they like see bodies, I guess.
I think Meisner would have words about that reaction, Mr. Meisner.
You know, but like, if that was the truth of how she felt in the moment.
True. And, you know.
Which was unaffected.
I would love to have someone who's like, you know, like Meisner level, like him or somebody like that, analyze the acting and like shitty.
Her character is on a lot of Klonopin.
That's fair. That's fair. So let's go back to Scientist Man makes out with the robot. That happened. We're just gonna fly by that because there's so much weird romance between the robot and the guy.
I mean, we saw it coming.
Oh, 100%. And so they're like, okay, we're gonna try to leave on this shuttle, but guess what? Shuttle explodes. Fuck, not the shuttle.
Wait, but before that, don't they kill the leader of the troops?
Yeah, no, he's been dead from.
Well, yeah. So like the leader of the troop, this is another wonderful writing moment where he gets stabbed through the chest. And he goes, it'll take more than a poke in the ribs to put down this old dog. And then a second thing comes through and he goes, yep, that'll do it. And dies.
And immediately I was like, oh, okay.
I wish I'd been in the writing room. I think they were just
they're having too much fun. They're like, guys, what if we did this?
I mean, if you ignore the interpretation of the script that the actors give, the writing in and of itself is very simple and fun. Yeah. Like, I think they had so much fun writing it.
So 100%. They were having a blast.
So yeah, like this Cheech-looking guy shows up partway through.
Yeah,
suddenly.
He's
as like a ship
driver?
mechanic?
Ship mechanic?
Or is he the driver?
I don't really know. It doesn't really, it's kind of vague. There's so many fun
so they're like, we're gonna steer this ship, and there's like body parts all over the control panel, and he's like, I've seen worse, and just starts throwing arms.
He's like, let's go. And they're like, well, we're gonna get out of here. And they're like, okay, but we need to do something about Jason. So the guy's like, we're gonna turn the robot into like a Terminator type thing. So the woman robot, Jessica Chastain knockoff she's like now like a Terminator robot, and she's like metal, and she's like going to Jason. She's like ready to fucking party, and she's like, boo, and all your boobs are out.
I wish she had the Austin Powers.
Yes, that would have
gun.
been amazing. That was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that's why she can't have nipples.
That's because she has boobs for guns.
Guns for boobs. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, boobs for guns as well.
Boobs for guns.
It both make sense.
Both should be a reality. So, and she's just kicking Jason's ass, taking off limbs left and right, and then she gets his head. Mm-hmm. Boom, exploded. They're like, we did it.
Can't regenerate that bitch.
But where does he land? On the reanimation little thing. And thingy-majigger. And
the healer,
and literally
chamber.
He's being healed immediately, and I'm like, God damn it! And the students are finally.
I think it's interesting that the technology of that wasn't ruined when the ship crashed. To the space station.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. I think that happened.
Like, that's some pretty good wiring on that ship. It's all good.
As they were driving, because the driver Cheech
Yeah.
He got slashed, obviously, and drove the ship right into another ship because there's no one. No, who's steering this thing? Nobody. Nobody's driving up there. And
if you're killed by Jason and I'm killed by Jason,
who's driving their car? I don't know. Not me. Hopefully somebody, but not me. So the wiring in this thing is absolutely phenomenal. I'm surprised it didn't explode. But they finally get help, and they finally get a hold of someone, and someone's coming to save them. And they're freaking out, though, because Jason is coming back.
Yeah.
Coming back. So they lock themselves in this pod, and they blow up the connecting parts to the pod to try to release it to escape. And they're like we're safe, and then Jason just goes poof, and then he's there, and you're like, what the fuck? How did he get there? We don't know.
He's magical.
How long does it take to reanimate? Because it seems like it takes 2 seconds.
Right? Well, no, but his body also does the work.
Yeah, I'm like, but now he's like Robo Jason, and his eyes are red, and it's like Robo.
Where is that Jason movie?
Terminator Jason.
Terminator
He's
Jason.
ready to go. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Jason bought 3,000.
Exactly. And they're like, we're safe. And then Jason punches a hole into the side of, the pod. And, the final four make a run for it. They make their escape into another pod. And then Jason, it's Jason and the robot, stand off again. But he, cuts off her head, and it's rolling. Heads will roll, and her head rolls, and the scientist guy picks it up and just is like, I'm going to hold you.
He just puts it in his pants.
He just puts it in his pants. He's like, you're going to stay right here in my
he's
pants.
Just like, I know what
I'm going to keep you safe. And she's like, okay, I guess. She's like, I don't know anything else.
He's like, this is the only part I wanted anyway.
I think that
head of hair.
And so the final four make it until they're like, okay, we got to explode the ship with Jason on it. So the door for the pod is closing. Everyone's running towards it, and Jason just stabs one of the guys, and he's like, go, go, go. And they all make it in, and they're like, no, we can't leave him. And he's like, hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah.
He doesn't say that, but I wish he did. And
It's
then he explodes
implied.
the ship. They separate, they depart, and it's amazing. And then they're flying away, and who's just floating in air? Jason Derulo. It's just Jason, just flying.
Just flying through space. He doesn't need oxygen.
And who comes to save the day?
Jason's mom.
I wish. The sergeant, who we thought was dead.
He got stabbed twice.
He's in a suit. He grabs Jason and just rockets him into oblivion. And now he's gone. And he ends up on Earth 1 again in the water.
Did Jason have the machete in his hand while flying through space?
I don't remember. I feel like he did, but I feel like he might have dropped it at that point because then he was Jason Terminator. So it's like, I feel like he...
Yeah. So if he dropped it, oh, well, he is Jason Terminator.
Yeah. So they get this, they're on the rescue ship, they're free, they're fine, and Jason's shot into space. And that's it's just them floating away to safety. And that's literally...
Yeah.
That's
all she wrote.
This is a lot. This film is a lot. There's so much.
It was only an hour and a half.
Yeah. There's so much weird shit goes down. It's what? You had so many plot points. You try to just cram down our throats. So many characters.
I feel like this movie is slept on.
I think for a reason, but yeah, that's fair.
Well, I mean, it's not good.
Yeah.
But I think it should be talked about more.
For sure. It's fantastic.
I loved watching it on Tubi because the ad breaks gave it the feel of watching one of those FX movies where they break down the scenes between the ads.
I love FX movies.
The FX got the movies. FX got the movies.
Yes.
And then they would do breaking down the scenes before it'd cut back. It had that feel with the ad breaks. I was like, this movie would have been very great as a TV movie.
Right. And it should have been for TV.
It should be in syndication
straight
on
to DVD
Sci-Fi.
For the Walmart DVD section or even the dollar store DVD section.
Well, I mean that too, but I also think it should just randomly be on cable.
Oh, 100%.
Or network TV.
Yeah. And so this movie was a movie that we watched.
It was a movie that we watched.
So out of 10, what do you think?
I mean, X means 10, but
but in your heart?
In my heart, I think it's 4.
Okay, I give it a 3.
Yeah. Because, like,
yeah.
Yeah. And if, yeah.
This, I did enjoy it. It was very fun.
Yeah, I'm glad I watched it.
I was like, wait, what's happening now? Wait, and it was very chaotic.
I mean, the idea of let's put Jason in space.
They're like, what else can we do? He's been on Crystal Lake for so damn long. Let's spice it up.
Do you think that pitch would have sold in any other year?
No.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, 2000.
Like, if you tried now to put Jason in space and it hadn't been done,
they're like,
I don't think they would.
They're like, you're fired.
It would be a YouTube fan film.
You're blacklisted from Hollywood. Get out of here. You disgusting piece of crap.
No, it would be like the next Sharknado.
Exactly. But I think they're on like Sharknado 8 now.
Have you seen any of those?
No.
Me neither.
I don't know if I want.
I am a big fan of Tara Reid's acting.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. I love her.
Yeah. Robbed of her EGOT.
She's amazing. She's an icon. You know who else is an icon? You. You're an icon.
Thank you.
And I thank you for being here today.
Thank you. You're an icon. Look at you.
Shucks.
Running your own podcast.
We trying. So do you have anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Well, my Instagram, I'm sure you'll post because it's difficult to know how to spell, at Jessie X the X Mess. I don't have any of my personal work coming out anytime soon, but I'll be on the show with something to plug next year, right?
Ooh, yeah.
That's the hope.
Yeah. Woo-woo. Well, thank you for being here, and guys, stay spooky.